The aisle stretched before me like an empty promise. My dress swayed with every step, but there was no one waiting. No father to hold my hand, no siblings, no cousins, no friends, just the echo of silence. They were all at her baby shower, my sister's, the one I wasn't invited to because apparently my wedding wasn't convenient. I remember the whisper from the coordinator. They said you can't compete with a baby shower. I laughed, quietly, to myself, because the pain burned too sharp for tears, and anger had taken its place. I had once believed in them, in my family, in the stories my father told me as a child about loyalty, love, the unbreakable bond of blood. I believed him when he promised he would walk me down the aisle. I trusted my sister when she hugged me after every heartbreak, smiled at every success, whispered, "I've got your back." I had been blind. It started small, subtle slights, unexplained absences, an offhand comment that didn't match her eyes. I told myself it was just nerves. But patterns never lie. I noticed the late-night texts she deleted, the sudden coldness, the carefully curated social media posts that excluded me. And then the final confirmation, the guest list for my wedding. Not a single family member. Not a single call to explain. The betrayal was deliberate, surgical. Shock settled in first, like ice water down my spine. Heartbreak followed, but despair never found me. I made a choice. I would not react like a victim. I planned. I observed. I waited. Every move was deliberate. I started by cataloging their actions, dates, messages, posts. I connected with wedding vendors, subtly verified their excuses. I watched my father's pride falter in conversations I overheard. I noted my sister's friends, allies, co-conspirators. Every detail, every weakness, every lie. I chose my weapon, visibility, truth, dressed as reality, shared with the world. The next day, I posted a single photo on my Instagram feed. Just me, in my wedding dress, standing alone in the empty chapel. No captions, no emojis, nothing. Pure contrast. Silence amplified. Less than an hour later, 30 missed calls, 30 messages. The phone vibrated against my palm like a metronome of guilt. My father, my sister, even distant cousins, panicked, frantic, exposed. I didn't answer. Then came the inquiries, the calls from family friends, the texts from mutual acquaintances. Each question a dagger aimed at them. Why weren't you at her wedding? I stayed calm, polite, neutral. Each response designed to illuminate their absence without saying a word. I let the public lens do what my words could not, hold them accountable. I started dismantling their narrative. I posted subtle stories of the day, a shot of the empty chapel doors, the bouquet untouched, the shoes by the altar. Each image a piece of evidence, undeniable and elegant. Social media became my courtroom, their guilt the jury. And it worked. A week later, I met them in person. The confrontation was unnecessary. They were already crumbling under the weight of their own choices. My father's eyes, once stern and proud, were clouded with regret. My sister's smirk faltered. Her charm evaporated in the glare of exposure. I didn't yell. I didn't plead. I just let them see me, steady, composed, untouchable. I said one thing, one sentence that cut deeper than any argument could. I didn't need you there. I only needed the truth. They recoiled, because they understood. The truth was out. Everyone they had tried to impress, everyone they had manipulated, knew exactly what had happened. The power they thought they held over me had dissolved. And in that instant, I realized something vital. The wound they had inflicted was now their own chains. The satisfaction wasn't loud. It was subtle, almost imperceptible. It was in the way my father avoided my gaze at family gatherings, in the hesitancy in my sister's voice when she spoke to me, in the quiet judgment of friends who had always been loyal to me. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. Justice isn't a spectacle. It's inevitability. I reflected on the lessons that silence and patience had taught me. Betrayal is a weapon. So is patience. So is composure. Revenge is not emotional chaos. It is the quiet orchestration of consequences. And when executed with precision, it is devastating in its simplicity. That day, in front of the world and in my private reflection, I reclaimed something more important than family approval or social accolades. I reclaimed dignity. I reclaimed control. I learned to walk alone. And I learned that sometimes the absence of those who should love you is the clearest measure of who they really are. I put the phone down. No missed calls, no apologies, no demands. Just a quiet smile. The empty chapel had been my stage, the photo my sword, and the truth my victory. Some seats are reserved for the deserving. Some chairs are left empty to remind the rest who failed.